Welcome to Screen Hollywood, the home of movie news and entertainment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back to Screen Hollywood. I'm your host, Adam. If it's your first time here, join the Hollywood family and hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and hype button. And bookmark our international news site at screenhollywood.com. The sky is calling once again, but this time, it's not a signal for hope. It's a distress flare from the Disney accounting department. For months, we've been tracking the production of Avengers Doomsday with a magnifying glass. We knew it was big. We knew bringing Robert Downey Jr. back was expensive, but we didn't know how expensive until now. A massive financial leak regarding Deadpool and Wolverine has just blown the lid off Marvel's budgetary secrecy, and the implications for Doomsday are frankly terrifying. We aren't talking about a blockbuster budget anymore. We are talking about the GDP of a small nation. We are talking about a financial hole so deep that even a $2 billion box office run might look like a failure. Today, we are exposing the lie. We are breaking down the newly revealed $533 million price tag for Deadpool and Wolverine, how that forces us to recalculate the cost of Avengers Doomsday, and why Marvel has backed themselves into a mathematical corner they cannot escape. If you care about the future of cinema and the truth behind the Hollywood machine, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell. You need to hear this. Let's start with the smoking gun. For the last year, the narrative around Deadpool and Wolverine was that it was a lean, mean, R-rated machine, a success story of efficient filmmaking. Well, that narrative just collapsed. A recent investigation by the London Standard and Forbes has shifted the focus entirely from the film's box office gross to its financial footprint in the United Kingdom. And the numbers are staggering. We now have access to the filings from Disney's UK subsidiary, a shell company named Richmond Street Productions. These documents reveal that by October 31st, 2024, the production had spent a total of £418.1 million. Let me do the conversion for you. That is $533.7 million. Let that sink in. Over $500 million for a buddy cop superhero movie. This instantly ranks Deadpool and Wolverine among the top 10 most expensive movies ever produced in human history. And this is the movie that was supposed to be the outlier, the scrappy project. So why are we seeing these numbers now? It comes down to tax credits. The investigation revealed that Disney received a record-breaking £82 million, that's roughly $104.7 million in hard cash back from the UK government. This includes £60.9 million in 2024 and £21.1 million in 2023. This is reportedly the single largest tax credit awarded to a film production under the UK's incentive scheme since 2007. While the UK government reimburses up to 25.5% of local spending to attract jobs to places like Pinewood Studios and Pitstone Quarry, this level of public funding for a massive American conglomerate is sparking a firestorm of debate in political circles. But for us, here at Screen Hollywood, it sparks a different debate. If Disney was willing to spend $533 million on Deadpool and lie about it by omission until these tax documents forced their hand, what are they actually spending on Avengers Doomsday? This unwanted exposure of the Deadpool budget is a nightmare for Kevin Feige because it provides us with a baseline. It removes the ability for Marvel to spin the narrative. If a film with two main leads, largely shot on sound stages or local UK quarries, costs $533 million, what is the price tag for Avengers Doomsday? Let's look at the variables. Deadpool and Wolverine had Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Expensive? Yes. But Doomsday? Doomsday is a different beast entirely. First, you have the legacy premium. We know that bringing Robert Downey Jr. back wasn't a negotiation, it was a ransom payment. Estimates put his package alone, salary, private travel, security, and back-end points, near the $80 to $100 million mark. Then you add Chris Hemsworth, Brie Larson, Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch, and potentially the returning legacy X-Men cast. The above-the-line talent costs for Doomsday likely eclipse the entire production budget of the original Iron Man. Second, look at the scope. Unlike Deadpool, Doomsday is not staying in the UK. We are tracking on-location global filming. They are shooting in New York. They are shooting in London. They are shooting in South Korea and potentially Sydney. Moving a production of this size across continents burns cash at an unprecedented rate. Third, the VFX. Deadpool and Wolverine had heavy CGI, sure. But Avengers Doomsday involves multiversal incursions, battle world scenarios, and likely hundreds of characters on screen simultaneously. The VFX budget alone could rival the total budget of Dune Part 2. When you extrapolate the $533 million for Deadpool, and you factor in the Avengers tax, the increased scale and locations, and massive paychecks, it is statistically probable that the production baseline is $700 to $800 million. And that is before we talk about marketing. This is where the math goes from risky to insane. The standard rule of thumb in Hollywood is that global marketing for a blockbuster costs between $100 and $150 million. For a massive event film, maybe $200 million. But Doomsday isn't playing by standard rules. Disney is terrified. They know they need to rebuild hype from the ground up, and that costs money. We have received reports that the marketing campaign for Doomsday is starting a full 12 months before release. This is unprecedented saturation. We are hearing that the first of 4 major trailers is dropping this month, attached to the theatrical release of Avatar: Fire and Ash. Think about the cost of sustaining a global marketing campaign for a full year. You aren't just buying TV spots for 2 weeks. You are buying Super Bowl ads. You are buying takeovers of Times Square and the Burj Khalifa. You are flying the cast around the world for press tours, not once, but probably twice. Conservatively, they are going to spend in excess of $300 million on global marketing between now and the release next year. And just to be clear, that's a best-case scenario. They will definitely spend more than this. So, all in all, you are looking in the region of $1.2 billion just for 2 hours of entertainment. Marvel and Disney are completely out of control. There is no other way to say it. This is an investment, this is panic spending. They are throwing money at the problem of superhero fatigue, hoping that if they make it shiny enough and expensive enough, we won't notice the cracks in the foundation. So let's talk profit, because that's what Disney shareholders care about. In our last video breakdown, we were generous. We calculated that Avengers Doomsday would need to take home about $1.7 billion at the global box office to be deemed a genuine success. That was based on the old budget estimates. Based on this new $533 million revelation from Deadpool, we have to update our models. If the total cost sits at $1 billion and theaters keep roughly 50% of the ticket sales, less in international markets like China, the math becomes brutal. Marvel will need Avengers Doomsday to gross in excess of $2.5 billion at the box office just to see a healthy return on investment. Let me be clear. In this economic climate, they have zero chance. Zero. Look at the reality of 2025. The cost of living is up. Ticket prices are at an all-time high. Audiences have been trained to wait for Disney+. Even Avatar, the king of the box office, will be fighting for every dollar. To expect Doomsday to hit $2.5 billion, numbers that challenge Endgame during peak economic prosperity, is delusional. We broke down the audience erosion stats in the last video, but the summary is this. The casual audience that pushed Endgame to nearly $2.8 billion isn't there anymore. They've moved on, and no amount of tax credits from the UK government can fill a $2.5 billion hole. But here is the thought that came to me while producing this video. This is the real kicker. Even if I'm wrong and the movie is a box office smash, in the long run, Disney still loses. Marvel is currently trapped in a lose-lose situation. Let's fantasize for a second. Let's pretend the stars align. Let's pretend the marketing works. Let's pretend Avengers Doomsday takes home $2.4 billion globally. Then what? Think about it. They literally cannot repeat this. We can all agree that the novelty of Robert Downey Jr. returning as Dr. Doom is a nuclear weapon of nostalgia. The return of Chris Evans, potentially as Cap or Human Torch, and the X-Men, that is a massive hand to play. It's the royal flush. but you can only play a royal flush once. Once the credits roll on Doomsday and Secret Wars, that novelty evaporates. They will have played their last card. They will have no more magic rabbits to pull out of the hat. If Doomsday costs $1 billion and makes $2.2 billion, it sets a standard of success that is unsustainable. They cannot spend $1 billion on the next X-Men movie. They cannot spend $1 billion on Shang-Chi 2. By inflating the budget to this grotesque level, they are essentially admitting that the MCU as a sustainable business model is dead. They are admitting that they can't make money on normal movies anymore. They can only make money on events. And you can't have an event every 6 months. The strategy they are using for Doomsday, this bloated, excessive, panic-induced spending, only makes sense if the Marvel brand is effectively retiring from the big screen. It only works if they want to go out with a big bang, burn the house down, and walk away. They are bringing back all the legacy characters to make the world's most expensive film in history, not to build a future, but to cash out the past. The revelation of Deadpool and Wolverine's $533 million budget is the canary in the coal mine. It proves that Disney has lost the ability to control costs. It proves that the reported budgets we hear are lies. And it proves that Avengers Doomsday is barreling toward a financial cliff edge that could reshape Hollywood forever. If Doomsday fails to hit that $2.5 billion mark, we are looking at layoffs, cancellations, and a total restructuring of the studio system. If it succeeds, we are looking at a future where only $500 million movies get greenlit and everything else dies. Either way, the industry we know is changing. I want to know what you think. Is RDJ worth a $1 billion investment? Will you be there on opening night, or are you waiting for streaming? And do you think Deadpool and Wolverine was worth $500 million? Let me know in the comments below. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you check out our previous video where we analyze the Avatar Fire and Ash trailer impact. For Screen Hollywood, I'm Adam. I'll see you in the next one.